that's why magenta is the best color in the world. Anyway.
Yep, you can mispronounce it as Matanga, as a classic person once told me.
Feel like that. Oh, okay.
Wait, did you
No, it's just what? How?
did you pronounce it as Matanga at one point?
I think the disease caught me, and I did just mainly say
Oh
Matanga.
no! Oh, it's my Matanga war.
Mm-hmm.
Matanga war. Anyways, I looked at what our topic is for today, and Gavin, you came up with it last time. So
Ah, yes, I remember.
we actually had two topics, kind of.
Uh huh.
The first one was Cameron saying, "Oh, Gavin, you should come up with a topic,"
Me.
and then
Uh
you
huh.
said, "Oh, I'm the topic." So we could just talk about you, Gavin,
Oh, we could
or
talk about me,
yeah, yeah.
boy.
Yeah, you know, let's just go for that. Gavin, what's your favorite story about yourself?
Oh, my favorite story about myself.
Yep.
Ah, well, where to start, really? Uh,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
oh, really put me on the spot.
Maybe we should go to favorite time era of Gavin. What was the best Gavin that like
um,
maybe that you can laugh at now? Maybe what's the funniest Gavin that you don't want to be but can laugh at now?
me now.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that guy. That
I
guy
think.
was an idiot. But we can sure laugh at him now. Yeah,
I
that
think
guy 2 seconds ago.
one of the best times of my life was when me and my family just all moved to Wisconsin for like a few months. And then I came back here just before I started college.
Oh, I didn't know you. I didn't know you moved to Wisconsin.
Yeah, just it was just for a few months, and
Oh,
I
I
had a
see.
really fun time up there. It was great.
The Wisconsin,
It,
like the Dells area, or like
it was Sparta, Wisconsin, specifically.
Sparta. I
It's like the closest you can get to South Dakota while being in Sparta or Wisconsin.
Well, that is very hard because Minnesota is between
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
You know what? I misspeak a lot. Okay,
It's as close as you can be to Minnesota, but still being
as
in
close as you
Wisconsin.
can be to South Dakota while being in Wisconsin. It's like the first place you'll enter if you go like straight to Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. When you take some different,
Is what I
yeah,
meant to
yeah.
say.
I see. I see. Gotcha.
Yeah, so we drove 6 hours there and back for like a week, just getting all our stuff from one house to the other.
Oh, oh, moving. Oh, 6 hours. That's a long trip.
Yeah, I had to refuel twice. Or was it three times? It was two or three times
Per
because my
trip.
truck is because my truck is old and it guzzles gas like crazy.
Like you have like a pickup truck thing, right?
Indeed.
It's a big boy. It's
Yeah. Somehow during the transfer, my chair broke even more.
oh boy, your chair that was already like snapped in half.
Yeah.
Do you still have that chair?
No, it's gone. I got a new chair.
Ah, okay. I didn't know if you like gave that chair to Jack or something.
No, I got a video of my fiance falling over in that chair, and then we have audio of Jack falling over in that chair. I
oh
think it's paid for
gosh.
itself at this point.
Gosh. You know, if I had a nickel for having an audio clip of my friends falling out of a chair, I'd have 2 nickels.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not a lot of nickels, but it's weird that it
It's weird
happened
that it happened
twice.
twice.
I don't know what that's from, but I've heard that somewhere.
I believe it's Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Ah, I cannot do Dr. Doofenshmirtz's voice, so
Neither can I, so let's move on.
okay. Anyways, one of my memories of maybe more recent time quote unquote recent time of Gavin stories is
Oh
your
yeah.
amazing story of being in the Chicagoland and like what was it? Was it you or one of your buddies that was with you at Chicago? Just like
Oh,
absolutely.
I was like, man, it's been a while since I've been to Chicago. What recent story was he talking about? Like, oh no, the trip with all my classmates. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That suddenly clicked a whole load of memories. Okay.
Because
No, yeah.
I didn't have too many Chicago stories myself. Because I think yours just like topped anything I could have ever dreamed
I've
of.
been to Chicago a whole hell of a lot of times because my aunt lives up there, but this one
Mm.
story, better than anything I've ever had.
Anyways, do you want me to try regaling the story? I don't know if we've talked about the story on
I
the
mean,
podcast.
why don't you do the best you can do to remember, and then I'll tell the actual story.
Oh,
That sounds fun to
okay,
me.
okay. So get this: it's Gavin and a
Is that
buddy
how I sound?
at night at Chicagoland, and they're doodle doodle doo as they walk down the street. Maybe hammered, maybe not. Who knows what alcohol does to people? And they go no 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 no, and then there's a sudden urge that appears to somebody, either Gavin or the friend buddy slash other person. And there's like, oh, we're in a park. This is a great spot. There's a bush right there. Plants love liquids. So, you go do 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 psh, and you start running away as it happens. It just so happens that by the bush was not a another plant, but an actual human. Yes, a human was just not standing there. That would be really weird. He was just, I think, laying there. I think you basically somebody peed on a homeless person and quickly wanted to skedaddle from there.
Yeah, that's a good approximation. So I will correct a few things though, because a few
Oh,
things were
sure,
incorrect.
sure.
So it started out. Me and my class went to a trip to Chicago for a big old like tech expo. And that's what it was, and I got served like
Mm.
beer from a robot and a whole bunch of cool
Oh my
stuff.
gosh, by a robot?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And after the expo, I mean, maybe I shouldn't name names. It might be better. Uh,
Absolutely just destroy these buddies that you have that listen to the podcast.
yeah.
So we got
Um, Me and two other classmates of mine went all
we'll fix
around
that
the
in post.
entire expo and got every free thing we could. We had like 4 bags that we were carrying just full of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And everybody else apparently toured Chicago on the free electric scooters and stuff.
What?
So we missed out on that, but
There
got all the
was
free stuff.
free electric scooters?
Something like that,
Oh, I don't think they were
but
free.
probably not. But anywho,
Yeah, yeah.
later that night, I, being the party animal I am, brought some liquor with us for the trip, and
Naturally.
that gained a little crowd of us, like 5 people, I think, and we played my favorite card game, Egyptian Rat Screw, and anybody who slapped when they weren't supposed to slap or lost a big hand, they had to drink, they had to take a drink,
Yes.
and then yeah, it was 3 other classmates and me. One of the classmates wanted to go for a walk. Like we were a few miles out of Chicago at our hotel. It's like I want to go for a walk, and then a few other people were like, "All right," and I was like, "Okay, I'll go with you. It'll be fun. Why not? Tour the city."
Go see the sights at
Yeah.
night.
So the first thing we did was try to find a gas station. So all of us looked at our phones to try and find the nearest gas station, and it was like 3 to 4 miles away.
Hmm.
So we all walked that exact distance.
It's a hike.
Yeah. And they got some waters, they got some snacks. I didn't get anything because I was just there for the walk. And, we were
Yeah.
walked another like 1 to 2 miles back. And we were just, talking, shooting the shit. And then the smartest of the group was like, man, I have to piss. Like, really bad. He was the one who brought, certain vapors that make you feel dizzy, and did them right in front of a cop car, and all this fun stuff.
A choice.
Yeah, yeah, good choice. And yeah, he was like, "Man, I gotta pee really bad." And like 20 minutes before this, he was telling us a story about how he's out and about in another town. I think it was maybe New York.
Hmm.
And we were walking by a big old skyscraper with a bunch of bushes. And he was like, "Man, I was in New York once, and a bunch of these bums were just sleeping in these bushes, and I tried to piss in one once, and I got really close to like a few bums, and I just kind of had to get out of there."
Oh no.
And he was like, "Yeah, so look out for people in bushes because they like to sleep there." And we're like, "Oh, okay, that's good to know." And then a few hours pass while we're walking around, and it's like, "Man, I gotta pee real bad." It's like we're walking past this like residential area kind of thing. And there's just a big old line of bushes to kind of separate the residents from the road. Just a big old line of shrubbery.
Shrubbery.
And it's about a mile long, like shrubbery line. So he goes to like the nearest place, and he's like just kind of standing there starting to piss. And then I look over where he's pissing. Like, I'm like, "Man, it's taking a while. What's going on over there?" And I see a moving foot. A moving
Oh,
foot in a
no.
shoe. And based off of the trajectory of the sole of the shoe and where the body would be compared to that shoe, he's like peeing right on the head of a dude. So I go, and we're all kind of half drunk. I go to my closest buddy. Again, not going to name names. And I'm like kind of like stuttering and whatever. I try to whisper to him like, "Hey, he's fucking this on dude." But he's like, what are you doing, weirdo? Like, get away from me. Stop trying to whisper in my ear, you weirdo." And he like kind of backs up.
Absolute
And I'm like,
weirdo.
"Bro, look." And he looks, and he's just kind of staring there for a while because he doesn't know what I said. I was drunkenly whispering to him. So I went to the other friend, and I was going to tell him what was going on. And then, as before I even get the first word out, the first friend I told booked it right past me. And I shut up and I just ran. I was like, "He's running, I'm running. Goodbye." And then, not 2 seconds later, the guy who was pissing passes all of us, running faster than all of us, even though we got like a 2-3 second head start. He just zooms past every single one of us. Because apparently, according to him, while he was pissing, the dude must have woke up because he felt a splatter or two and grabbed his ankle, and he just straight up jumped up and ran the hell out of there. Again, faster than any of us.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we spent another, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes walking back, and we're all kind of, like paranoid.
Oh.
So we're all like looking back every 5 minutes.
He's coming
like
to
one
get
of us will
us.
look back. Like, let's just hope he's not chasing us, some homeless dude. So we ran as much as we could, and then we all stopped and then walked the rest of the way back.
So is it the same guy that was like, "Yeah, New York, I noticed
Yes,
these
the same guy. Same exact guy who said that like an hour or less before he pissed in a bush with a guy was talking about how he was in a bush with a guy. It's
such a great story.
Just so many parts fit together so neatly for that to be such a great event that I will never forget. Oh, I have another story that I'll never forget with my classmates. Do we want to transition right to that?
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right. So, a few days before we graduate, right?
Naturally.
One of the guys has a family who owns a farm, and they own 2 farms.
Ooh, 2
So,
farms.
the family took one house and he took another house. So he lives on a farm and they live on a farm, and they're close-ish.
Okay.
And first of all, his girlfriend loves to show off her boobs, so I got to see her boobs. That was great. She has glow-in-the-dark piercings right there. It's pretty cool. Anyway,
that
we were
okay, a nice story, man.
no, that's not the part. That's just
Oh,
an
sorry,
extra.
that's just a tangent. Okay.
So we were all playing beer darts, which we just got in a big old circle and shot darts at beer cans at people's feet, which only a
Naturally.
few went into other skin, but it's fine.
Well, that's the fear of darts. If you're so bad at it, you're definitely gonna puncture your leg.
Yeah. If you don't know, if somebody hits your can of beer, you got to drink it down to the hole.
Ah, that would probably take me a minute.
Probably.
To
You
quote
got to chug
unquote
it, but
chug.
you would take forever. Yes.
Chug, chug, chug. I'm trying.
Anyway, yeah. Like an hour into us playing the game, uh, his parents come by, and they're fine with us drinking and whatever. That's all cool. But like his mom comes up to him, puts her hand on his shoulder, and starts talking all inspirational about this is a stepping stone in your life. This will define like your future, and you'll be able to do great things.
This beer darts game will be the most important thing that happens in your life.
And I look over to like one of my best buddies in college, and he had to like put his hand to his mouth and block her from seeing him just vomiting on the floor as silently as he could, because she was still speaking inspirational this and that. Like, this is a stepping stone, a milestone in your life. You'll look back and have great memories, and your futures will be amazing. And I just look over, and he's like, I saw that, and I had to not laugh because she's still making this grandiose speech as he just like side mouth vomited a little bit of beer just onto the grass. Oh, and it was so funny. Just the timing and everything was perfect. And it wasn't because he was so drunk that he was vomiting. It's because what we were drinking had such low alcohol content, and we just had so much liquid in our stomach. Yeah, that we just like, this is too much.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was so good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those are my two like top college stories that I will never forget.
Yeah, most of my college stories do not have that je ne sais quoi. Um, my sisters make fun of me because they're in college now, and they're like, Riley, you've never been to a college party, and I'm like, yes, I have, and they're like, well, was there alcohol? I'm like, yeah, technically, yeah, and then they're like, okay, so what were you doing at this party? Well, we were in the basement playing board games. We were just hanging out. I was destroying. Actually, I normally got destroyed. We were playing Scythe, classic games, and they're just saying, Riley, that's not a party. I'm like, let's do a party. They invited me, and we stayed a long time. It's basically a party
They
in my
invited
mind.
me. We had fun. It took a long time. That's a party. What do you mean?
A party. that is a classic party. I had heard other quote unquote college parties from like the frat houses, and then that when you never get invited, and then the next day you hear a lot of different people talking about this apparently amazing party, and you're just hearing about it that day because nobody was like, this guy, yeah, he wants to be invited. First of all, I didn't want to be invited, so they were correct not to invite me.
Okay.
But when they're like, yeah, so did you enjoy the party? And they're just looking at me, I'm like, I didn't even know there was a party. And then they turn around very quickly. That's fun to see. Just them leaving. Like, oh, yeah.
I have a halfway similar story to that. It ties into the other story I already told, but the party where the guy vomited during the inspirational speech. The day before, well, that was supposed to be the day of the main party, but apparently a few people showed up a day early. So enough people showed up to where that was the main party that I did not go to.
Everybody just got the date wrong.
Well, no, just like 3 people showed up to like help set up, and then like 3 other people saw that people were there. They're like, "Oh, I'll just show up too." So like
Let's
the
go to
main
that
party
party.
ended up being a day early. So I didn't get to see the main party, but we still hung out, shot some guns, drank some beer, talked, and
Oh
saw that
gosh,
happen.
gosh, there was quite a character in that house that I went to for the board games. You know, it's
Oh,
oh
that
my
brings up another memory. But go ahead, I'll talk after you.
gosh. You know, I forgot what name he went by. I think he went by 3 different names, and
Oh, good.
I don't think
I like those people.
any of those were his real name. I'm pretty
All right.
sure he was using like a false alias every time I met him. But you know, every time every time I went over, I'm just there for board games and fun. And then when this guy
Mhm.
shows up, I know I'm gonna have a terrible time because his fun is completely different than my fun. He's like, so you know, we're in the basement. They have this whole table, and apparently, you know,
These board
gunpowder.
games are cool. You want to play like beer pong, or
Yeah,
you want to
apparently
blow some shit up?
this guy this guy likes playing with fireworks. I
Oh,
don't know
so
if
do I.
I don't know if he was making his own gunpowder. I'm because I'm
I was making my own fireworks.
yeah,
Okay,
that's pretty sweet.
thanks.
Anyways, yeah, this I don't know what he was doing with the gunpowder, but I think he was either making his own gunpowder or making his own bullets. Either
Was
of
he
the
making
one,
wicks? Because you can make your own wicks with gunpowder.
unclear. But
Okay.
this guy, he liked to just have a gun just swinging around and whatnot. And he's like,
Uh,
"Oh, hey, yeah, you're new here. You hold this gun. Hold it.
yeah,
Come
that's
on."
very not cool.
And then he's just shoving a gun on me. I'm like, I'd rather not. And he's like, "Oh, you do with the gun." Then he starts swinging it around. I'm like,
I'll
Jesus
I'll
Christ!
say this right now. No matter how much fun you're having, gun safety is important.
Yeah. Yeah, as somebody who's not a fan of having a gun pointed at them, it just
Yeah.
made me feel very unsafe every time he showed up. And I'm like, well, I'd rather leave here, but we just started this 2 hour game.
Well, I'd like to not have a gun pointed at me, but this board
But
game,
this
though.
board game. So, you know, he was quite the character, and he had a completely different
Hello.
presence
Hello.
on campus compared to off campus.
Oh.
Anyways, hi
Uh,
Cameron.
Hi, Gavin. We're still talking about me.
Yep, this
uh,
is the stories of Gavin and his college escapades, and I'm regaling
uh,
my some of my college stories that do not live up to Gavin's stories.
can you give me the Cliff Notes version of Gavin's stories?
Let's see.
Well, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I got this, Gavin. I was here
Go
for
ahead.
the whole
I'm
thing.
sorry. I was going to
Uh,
continue off of your story, but I'll do that after you
yeah,
recap.
Cliff
Yeah.
Notes.
Yeah, Cliff Notes first.
Gavin went to Wisconsin, and
Okay.
he had a great time there. He went to Chicago, and his buddy peed on a homeless guy. He then had.
I remember that story.
Then he had another college buddy, definitely not named Bloop, and had and had his mother give an inspirational speech while a different buddy was vomiting at the same time and was trying to hold back the vomit because it was such an inspirational speech. And let's see, what was that everything, Gavin? I think that was all of yours.
Pretty much, yeah. A lot less detail, but yeah, Cliff Notes good, yeah.
All right.
And now Gavin's going to regale another grandioso story.
Yes.
Oh,
The
cool.
same graduation party I've been talking about. You were talking about some uncool people showing up at parties and being like not cool.
Yeah, have this gun.
I have some not as uncool, but kind of killed the vibe. My
Yeah.
buddy who was hosting the party's neighbor and his wife came by. Like, we saw you were having fun. And he was definitely very drunk. And he liked to talk about himself a lot. So, well, we were all hanging out in his house, having a good time because we're all kind of friends. He just was like, knock, knock, knock. And then he opened the door, and then both of them just walked right in and just started addressing everybody and started talking about himself for like 30 minutes. And none of us talked and none of us cared while he was blabbering on. And he was right in front of the doorway, so none of us could leave or do anything. He was just right there talking about himself and doing this and doing that drunkenly and being like, man, my fucking this and fucking wife and fucking whatever. It's like, alright, cool.
Now,
This was fun.
now, to paint a mental picture, Gavin, for me, did this guy look like he'd fall for a pyramid scheme?
Well, he was about, I would say he was about 6'2", both tall and round.
Sure.
He
That
had
is a
long
good pyramid scheme victim body type.
he had long hair, but he was wearing a hat, so I believe he was long hair and balding on top, with a short beard, very short beard, and loved talking about himself. So I would think so. Yes.
Okay, thanks for the recap there. Yeah. Did this guy talk at all
Alright.
about cryptocurrency?
He did not.
Oh, okay. Then
Still a
What-
farmer living area kind of guy,
that
but
that's true. That your friend lived by a farm. I guess his neighbor.
yeah.
would
So
probably
his
be a
neighbor
farmer.
was 3 miles away.
Hey, are those guys having fun without me?
Do I see a light on that's not supposed to be at midnight 30? I better go over there and see what's going on.
They
I
might
have
be in
nothing
trouble.
going on in my life. Let me just go over there and talk about myself for an hour.
I mean, it's clearly they didn't. Clearly, they forgot to invite me. I'm the guy.
I'm the main character
I'm-
in this.
I'm.
A room full
I
of
am-
10 college graduates. They need me.
I am that. I am that dude. Why wouldn't they want this dude over there with them hanging out?
Crushed beer
Okay.
cans all over the floor, weed in the air. They need a 40-year-old man to tell them what's what.
Oh. Turns out he's an undercover cop.
Ten,
I don't know. I left before he did, which is saying something.
Oh, jeez.
10 college grads. Ooh, this is a perfect opportunity for one of my old man stories.
Pretty much. But it's like he wasn't that old, but he had old man stories like old men would, which are like political and big and set in his ways kind of stories, but he wasn't
American
as
lore.
old to where those would be so common.
Right.
Your Harper helper is so good. Really good.
Thanks. I made a custom cheese sauce. I hope you like it.
Just,
Homemade cheese sauce.
good. Because the cheese sauce that comes with hamburger helper is kind of ass.
It depends
Oh,
on
very
which hamburger helper.
The one that adds cheese, of course.
There's a few different ones. There's like
Well, there's hamburger helper or there's hamburger helper with cheese.
I'm trying.
it's like
I'm trying to
the
think.
is it the macaroni noodles with the cheese and
Sweet.
beef?
Yeah, that one.
What are you
I
talking
think
about
that's the
during my
one.
podcast? No. I got them done at like 7:20. I had enough time. All right. Totally doing a video, not doing anything else. What's going on?
the exclusive podcast content everybody comes for.
Yeah.
Well, I got this soda called Big Red. This shit tastes just
Oh
like
my
bubblegum.
God. Big Red. Yeah, I've had that. It's
Dude,
amazing.
It's great. It's probably like the sweetest soda I've ever had.
The first time I saw it is when I lived in Aurora, South Dakota, and yeah, they had a tiny little gas station, and they had Big Red, and I was like, oh, let me try it. It's like, wow, that's bubblegummy.
Bubblegum flavored soda?
Pretty much.
That's super sweet.
Yeah.
And it's red.
And
And
it's
somehow it's
red.
good.
Actually, that's
Mhm.
probably the most surprising part. That bubblegum flavored soda is good.
It's actually pretty good.
Now, is
Yeah,
it a fizzy drink?
Well, yeah,
and not.
it's a soda.
It's fizz.
It's carbonated.
Okay. Okay, here's the thing. The
Okay,
fizz
okay.
doesn't last super long, but like
Okay.
it doesn't taste stale when the fizz runs out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's not like when you have a Pepsi that sits out for a few hours and you drink it, it's like,
You know,
Or like when you
No.
buy a 2 liter and you're reaching the
that's-
end of it.
you know, my favorite soda is flat soda.
Well, perfect. You'd love it then.
yeah, it goes flat very fast, but the
Yeah.
flat doesn't taste bad.
Okay, okay. I'll have to look that up. Big Red, you said? Like the
Yeah, it comes in like a kind of weirdly shaped bottle too.
Can
Yeah,
I get this
it's a
at
bit it's a bit
the Walmart? Or where can
probably
I
you
don't
not.
know if Walmart has it. I don't
got
think
it.
so.
I got it. I picked it up at a gas station on my way
Yeah.
to work.
That's where I always got it too. So you might need to find some gas stations. But yeah, Big Red. I remember that shit. That was
Big
good.
Red low sodium at the Walmart? I'm gonna blow this whole conspiracy.
Let's see.
It's pretty decent soda, man. I don't know what to tell you. I definitely was
You'll-
not expecting bubblegum when I first tried it.
Me neither. I was expecting like your usual. Like, this is gonna be like another
Strawberry
cherry,
cherry.
or
Yeah.
raspberry, maybe.
Most red
Mm.
sodas you'd think cherry.
But no, it fucking threw me for a loop with being bubblegum.
You're expecting a right, and then it punches you with a left hook, and you're like, "Oh, well, I don't mind that though." So okay,
All right.
yeah, Big Red. It's an
I picked it up-
underappreciated brand.
I picked it up at Pump and Pack. That's where I got mine.
I don't think my gas station had a name. That's how small the town was.
Oh my gosh, I found a Reddit post about what does Big Red soda taste like?
It tastes like bubblegum. He's pretty accurate.
It tastes like fucking bubblegum.
But this one line, okay, so he had a sip and then his wife had a sip and they couldn't
Uh-huh.
pinpoint the taste, right? So
It's bubblegum.
he said, she said it reminded her of
Oh,
gum.
oh yeah, yeah.
She had
Oh,
as a
crazy.
kid. But then, okay,
Oh,
now
insanity.
this is the whole line that I thought was hysterical. He said, "I am not a fan when it's in my mouth, but after
Oh,
that, but the aftertaste is pretty good." I'm just like,
Yeah.
what do you
it's not
mean?
like it's not like modern day bubblegum. It's like that big bucket of hard ass bubblegum that you used to get as a kid. It's like
yeah.
that.
in those like 20-pound rolls.
It's the
Yeah.
it's like the fucking, what's it called?
I
The
don't remember.
Hubba Bubba
Yeah,
stuff.
Hubba Bubba.
Maybe.
Like the fucking hard cylinder little
Yeah, yeah.
shits.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
It-
about, but I can't remember
It
the
tastes
name.
like
And-
those.
And you take a bite out of the whole coil and everybody just looks at you like you're crazy.
No, you're
No,
talking about
that's-
somebody else,
You know
something
what?
else. You're talking
Yeah,
about
that's bubble
Oh,
tape
Oh, I'm thinking
or,
bubble.
or tape gum,
Bubble Bubble.
whatever the fuck it's
Bubble Bubble.
Yeah, wubble bubble.
Oh,
No,
Wubble
no,
Bubble.
no,
You know,
Don't double. What
oh,
are you talking
oh,
about?
no, wait, sorry. Wubble Bubble is a completely like that's that's a completely different thing.
Here, this picture in chat. That's what I think of.
Double Bubble. You know,
Double bubble.
I don't-
That bubble gum.
that's what I think of too. when
I
I
you know,
taste
for
this.
some reason, I don't know why this just clicked in my mind. I actually don't really like gum.
You know, it's kind
I-
of similar to Double Bubble in that one sip tastes like bubble gum. Only like 3 chews taste like bubble gum in Double Bubble, and
Yeah,
then it's gone.
I don't like gum either, but I love this soda.
Yeah, I think my problem with gum is it loses its flavor and it's then too much
It
chewing.
loses flavor way too fast.
I remember the first time that I chewed a piece of gum for way too long was when we like did our first session on D&D, and it turned into like soft goo that just melted in my mouth.
Oh,
I have
Which is like
never
the
had
worst experience.
oh my
I've never
gosh.
I've never had a piece of gum turn into soft goo in my mouth. It was always the opposite. It turned more and more hard the longer it was in
Became
there.
a brick.
Yeah, apparently if you spend double the time on that same piece of gum, it'll lose all adherence to itself and just turn into like a goo.
Oh, I hate
It was disgusting.
Ooh.
I think one of the things that I don't like about gum the most nowadays, as opposed to when I was a kid, is whenever I bite into a piece of gum, my brain's like, "Ooh, it's chewy.
All right.
It's falling apart. No, it's sticking back together. Oh, it's gum." Because so I've had pieces of candy where like I didn't know it had gum inside of it, so I start biting it. It's like,
sure.
it's really soft. No, it's gum.
Wow.
I
I love this texture. This is like the
Alright.
best for can. Oh wait, no. Damn it.
It's absolutely terrible.
I guess I'm gonna be chewing this for the next hour.
And like, if you have like a sucker with a piece of gum in it, again, it only lasts for like 3 seconds, and you're like, I have
hate
tasteless
suckers that
rubber in
have
my
gum.
mouth. Great.
See, I think this is why I go towards the mint route instead of the gum route. The mint flavor stays there, and then you dissolve the whole thing, and you don't have to worry about the gummy texture.
That's fair. Sure.
Yeah.
I gotta go pee. I'll be back.
Okay. So talking about things that was hard to quote unquote explain, the first time I went to Buffalo Wild Wings with my brother, this was probably a few years ago now, maybe 3 or 4. He was trying to explain to me what Asian Zing tasted like, and his best description of it was, it's sticky. It has a sticky taste or texture, and I'm just like, sticky? What the heck is sticky? And then I eventually try the wings, and I'm like, you know what? These are sticky. They taste exactly as he was explaining them. He's like, you are calling me crazy. I told you. So
yeah, I can't say I've ever had Asian wings before. But...
yeah, it was Asian Zing flavored wings at the Buffalo
Talking about
Wild
Asians now. Okay.
I have no idea what Zing is, I'll be honest with you.
It's Zing.
Now, Gavin,
wow, that has some Zing.
Have you tried Asian Zing at the Buffalo Wild Wings?
I have not. I hate wings and all their flavors.
Okay, well, do I have a great story that you just missed? Anyways, back to
Wonderful.
Gavin's.
I'm sure I'll never listen to it.
I'm glad we could tell you while you were away, or tell the story while you were away, so you didn't have to live through the torture of the story. Because this episode is all about Gavin.
Speaking of me, behind everybody's back so far, I've been posting all of our podcasts onto Spotify without anybody's knowledge. So if you want to check us out on different platforms, at least the first 5 episodes of our podcast are up on Spotify right now.
Oh, Gavin's networking for us. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to follow ourselves. I'm gonna have to follow ourselves on Spotify real quick.
A bit ago, I made an NFO account, and then pretty recently. Yes. And then I set up the first 5 episodes to be set up every week. So I think we have like 2 or 3 episodes out right now.
There it is. There it is. 3 episodes out right now.
There we go. Without anybody's knowledge, I've been doing that just because we're talking about me.
I'm gonna have to give us a.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to give us a 4-star rating.
I'm gonna have to give us a quick follow there.
Oh man, we're already at 3. I'll have to upload more since I'm only at 5 already scheduled.
I'm gonna be so far behind.
We have so many podcasts. You're fine. We have like 20 up already.
We only have like 30.
Yeah. So you have a minimum of 30 weeks to,
Oh,
to,
that's okay.
to
Okay,
edit stuff.
okay. I can. I'm hyperventilating over editing. But it should be easier to edit. It should be easier to edit now. I just need a new computer, a new setup, a new monitor, and everything will be even better.
Well, I did that pretty
Yeah.
recently, so yeah, shouldn't be too hard for you.
Oh gosh, my loans.
Yeah, my loans took a back seat for a little bit. That's fine.
Oh,
See, I was smart in not going to college, so I don't have to worry about loans.
loans.
Probably.
I need a. Oh gosh, I need to pay my loans. Anyways, it's not about me. It's about Gavin and his incredible stories.
It's not about you and your loans, Riley. It's about Gavin and his loans.
Yeah, Gavin.
Yeah. I paid about half of them off so far, so I'm doing good.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
sweet man.
But that's when I had overtime at my job, and I don't have overtime anymore, so now I'm not making enough profit to pay them off.
Oh
So
no.
it's a little harder, but I'm
going down
making
a
slower
spiral.
payments now.
He's going down a spiral.
Gavin, I want you to tell our lovely audience here one story about me and Riley each that you distinctly remember. Because I'm usually the guy who talks about like things that all you guys did, which nobody seems to remember doing. I want to see if the shoe's on the other foot for this one.
No, that's kind of the problem. I don't remember any of that.
Foot's on the shoe of the second.
I only remember things like Jack asking you if you can use the bathroom and like stuff like that. I don't remember any good stories that are very specific. I'm sorry.
I remember Gavin telling me a story about his dad and having what is it?
Oh God, I know a couple stories about my dad. Talking about my dad or my stepdad, because I have good stories for both.
Your stepdad.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, the first time I was going to come over to your was it not log cabin? What's the word?
The trailer.
Trailer. Yeah, the trailer. Yes, the first
The
time.
double wide. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
The trailer, which was in the middle of a fucking cornfield, according to the GPS.
Yeah, it's hard to find. Yeah,
the
I agree.
cicada infested trailer. But anyways, I'm pretty sure you were telling me that your stepdad didn't want me to come over because
because he loved kale.
I was either a bad influence or he thought I was my brother who had came over the previous I don't know whatever a few days ago, a few months ago, weeks, years ago.
Well, he brought over the whatever game that was like you went to hell. What was it? Anyway, you went to hell and fought your way out of hell, and there were like boobs and blood everywhere.
Oh my God!
and he spelled his username wrong.
What?
It's like Blood War or something like that. Something crazy, something weird, something like that, and he spelled it wrong, and then we played a game with tits and blood everywhere.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so then I come over and completely different.
Completely different from your brother, yes, 100%.
Yeah, so I just remember you telling me that your stepdad didn't want me coming over in the first place, and then after we met, he's like, "Oh, that guy's okay. You can bring that guy back."
It's like, oh no, don't bring Kale over anymore. Oh, Riley? Oh, yeah, that's fine, I guess. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
No.
I remember Gavin and Kale like hanging out with each other in the back of the bus for like a year, and then Kale was homeschooled the next year. so Gavin had to hang out with us, and then it was an afterthought since then.
I still remember meeting him for the very first time. He was in the very back of the bus where nobody was. He decided to open up the window and just start yelling a bunch of... I think he yelled America over and over again.
Oh my gosh.
Out of the window.
That sounds like him.
No.
And for whatever reason, I, being me, was like, I'm gonna go back there and talk to him.
That guy knows what he's talking about.
Young impressionable 8-year-old Gavin saw Kale's like, yo, this guy gets it. He's like me for real.
Oh gosh. That just
For whatever reason, I went back to him and started talking to him, and he's like, "You have to really know how to annoy people." It's like, yeah, this is my crown.
Jeez. Gosh. You just saying him yelling out of the window on the bus saying America reminded me of one of the last times I rode a public school bus where
those are great times.
all the kids, I'm in high school at this point.
Oh, that's a great story of me and Cameron, but go ahead.
It's a very quick story here. But yeah, I'm in high school, and then all these middle schoolers and elementary schoolers were yelling out the back of the bus because that's where all the cool kids hang out. And what they were yelling is very close to America. They were yelling Trump and cheese, Trump and cheese. I'm just like, what? And
I don't understand that, but okay, cool.
And then somebody's like, mac and cheese. And like, no, it's Trump and cheese. It's not mac and cheese. So I don't know what Trump and Mac had to do in common, but
Neither do I, but okay.
So yeah, just yelling outside the bus is just. Oh.
Here's what they have in common: they're both a mess, and they're both orange.
I was gonna say, yeah, orange is the only thing I can think of.
I didn't know macaroni was orange.
You drink it like a soup. You make it extra watery, as far as I remember.
You need to make. I still stand by my quote. If you're not drinking the cheese, you're not eating the mac and cheese correctly.
So you have it as soup, so yours is probably discolored.
It's the normal color of like mustard yellow.
No, that's not the color.
Mustard yellow to like creamy yellow.
Honey mustard yellow,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Not straight up mustard. No,
pure yellow. Number 9 extract yellow.
I remember trying like ketchup and mac and cheese once. I'm like, oh, this ain't bad. So then I tried it in a huge batch of it. Like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like it. And it's only decent in small doses. I found out. You can't just fucking mix ketchup into the entire batch because then you ruin it.
But yeah, the story with me and Cameron was one of our last days at Camelot, if I remember correctly. We had this big old making stuff fair.
Oh my god! I think I know what you're talking.
No, this is. You go on.
Me and Cameron were playing our DSs like we always did on the bus, because that really passed the time. And then I don't remember which one of us, but one of us decided to look up to see, hey, which part of the bus ride are we on? And we're like, oh, wait a second, we're the only ones here.
We usually have had a designated watchman to keep an eye on things for us, but for some reason, this anonymous person wasn't riding with us that day.
That specific day.
It's because my parents wanted me to bring my items to school so they didn't get destroyed on the bus. This is also 6th grade.
So I believe Cameron was like, "Stop! We're not supposed to be out here." and the fucking bitch ass bus driver was like, "Well, I'm not taking you back to the class, so you just have to get out here." At 6th fucking grade, children who didn't know where they were. It's like, you just have to get out here then.
I remember we distinctly had to ask strangers driving by in their car, hey, do you know where Camelot is? It was fucking drizzling too.
And the only thing I really remember is like, hey, those apartments seem familiar. Let's try going this way. And it got us to where we needed to go, I guess.
Yeah. I thought
you guys
were at Camelot and had to walk to the middle school.
No, we had to walk to Camelot from the middle school.
Because we were in the 6th grade. I know that for sure.
Okay.
No, we weren't.
I didn't think we were at any stopping place. I think we were in the middle of a residential area, and we just popped up and we're like, "Hey, stop the fucking bus! We're here. We're not supposed to be. Stop!"
Oh my gosh! I
Yeah,
still
but-
have the shield from that Ren Fair.
Oh, dude, Alan was so fucking pissed when I traded that shield for your shitty little trebuchet. Because like
It was
Alan
so
had
cool.
Alan had like 4 custom made and painted wooden shields and swords. And Riley was like, okay, I want a shield. He gave me like the shitty little wooden spoon
I think I
trebuchet
gave
with
you
like
2 or 3.
with like marshmallows and Smarties.
man.
Marshmallows and Smarties I could use as ammunition. I'm like, okay, it's good to me. And when Alan found out I did that, he dead ass fucking face palmed. I don't see what the big deal is. I got 3 trebuchets.
I think those trebuchets and like shitty little balloon stress balls were like the most popular thing at the children's Ren Fair bullshit.
Yeah.
I made a singular axe with a ruler as a blade and was like, "Man, I'm cool too, guys. I'm participating." The rest was cardboard and it got wet in the drizzle, so it got all floppity. It was like, oh.
And then I decided to wear sandals for some fucking reason on that day.
Oh yeah, they had to stop people from bringing food because of all the allergies, so you couldn't have the marshmallow ammunition.
Yeah,
So,
I think I remember that.
My siblings couldn't do the same thing as I.
Yeah, Gavin, if you did bring up that story, I would have. I do have another Gavin and Riley and me adjacent related bus story.
Oh
This
yeah,
was-
what do you
this was
got?
not- but I think this was like also a Camelot tale. I don't remember the exact context, but like you know our usual seating arrangements. Like Riley's by the window, Gavin's in the middle, and I'm at the edge of the seat.
Yeah, because that's how we got on the bus.
Yep, for second, third, yep.
And I don't remember the context of this happening. Knowing Gavin, there probably wasn't a real context, but he got up, leaned his butt towards Riley's face, and started letting out a long fart. It's like, yeah, almost finished. And I distinctly remember, like, I decided to bring like Yoplait strawberry banana yogurt on the bus that day, and I was eating it while Gavin was doing this. The moment he sat down, he's like, it smells like yogurty poop.
That sounds like something I do. I can't deny it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that quote makes more sense now.
Right.
Jeez.
I did not poop myself, for clarification.
It was just a long, quiet fart that, like, was pungent enough to smell bad in Riley and Gavin's area, but I didn't smell a thing, so it didn't travel far. It was just lingering
A
there.
directional attack.
Yeah, Riley was probably dealing with
bomb.
Riley was probably dealing with just fart stank. I was dealing with the yogurt smell.
And I got the perfect
Gavin-
mix.
You have to deal with both.
Oh gosh.
Well, at least I can accurately identify smells, I guess. Yogurt and poop. I knew what I was smelling.
It's an oddly specific set. I know what 2 things smell like. 2 things combined.
This combination, I know it intimately.
The smell. I know it all too well.
Oh gosh. Well, I think.
I don't. Huh?
Oh, I was gonna wrap it up here, Gavin. Unless you have another great story, I thought that was a good one to
No.
end on.
I was just gonna say I don't remember it, but I totally believe it happened because it sounds like something I'd do.
But I think that's a pretty great story to end on here. We had a great time talking all about Gavin, as that's what he wanted to talk about. Anyways,
Of course.
the next topic will be repairs, because that was the secondary topic that we never got
Yeah,
to.
I have plenty of repairs to talk about. Okay, cool.
We'll talk about that next time.
All right, sweet.
So yeah, thanks for listening to all you new quote unquote new Spotify listeners.
Yeah.
That's getting
Surprise, everybody.
30 weeks. Oh gosh. But yeah, that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.